All right, let's jump straight into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking something pretty much all of us have gone through, the volatile architecture of passionate partnerships. You know the drill. You meet someone, sparks fly, the chemistry is just completely off the charts. But then, almost out of nowhere, emotional friction appears just as fast. It's exhausting, for sure, but the wild thing is, it's actually highly predictable once you understand the mechanics behind it.
So that brings us right to a fundamental question. Why does passion so often breed conflict? I mean, think about this paradox for a second. How is it that the exact same person who brings you the absolute most joy and excitement can, in the blink of an eye, trigger your absolute deepest frustrations? Let's look at why the highest highs almost always walk hand in hand with the lowest lows.
Section 1. The double-edged sword.
Here's the thing. Passion and conflict aren't just two random events happening at the same time. They're intimately linked. They function as two completely inseparable sides of the exact same coin. In highly passionate relationships, emotional excitement and emotional tension become so incredibly intertwined that your brain and your body literally have a tough time telling them apart. Think about it. The racing heart, the heightened focus, that massive surge of adrenaline. Physiologically speaking, the excitement of falling in love and the tension of a fierce argument feel almost completely identical to your nervous system.
Moving on to Section 2, the speed of reaction.
Let's look under the hood at the actual mechanics of an escalating argument. It usually kicks off with a really small disagreement, maybe a totally trivial misunderstanding about where to eat or, I don't know, what you're doing this weekend. But almost instantaneously, a massive emotional reaction arrives. Because that intense passion basically acts as a fast-forward button for conflict, your logical reflection is totally bypassed. Before you even realize what you're actually arguing about, you're just fully in the heat of it.
And adding to this lightning-fast speed is the immense danger of impatience. When you're deeply invested in someone, you crave immediate clarity, right? You want answers or you demand instant emotional responses the absolute second a disagreement starts. But this intense craving to resolve the tension instantly actually throws gasoline on an already escalating fire. It completely robs both of you of the critical time you desperately need to just cool down and process.
Which brings us to Section 3, roots of the conflict.
Now, if you find yourself consistently drawn to a partner who is assertive, competitive, highly independent, and strong-willed, well, it makes perfect sense why your relationships run so hot. You're drawn to their fire. Attracting highly independent people guarantees magnetic chemistry, no doubt about it. But because two strong wills are now trying to occupy the exact same space, it also absolutely guarantees inevitable conflict. The same fire that warms you is eventually going to singe your eyebrows a bit. And when two strong wills collide, defensiveness is just the natural byproduct. This kicks in the very moment you feel misunderstood, criticized, or emotionally challenged by your partner. Because you value their opinions so incredibly highly, feeling challenged by them stings way more than it would from, say, your boss or a random stranger. So that defensive wall, it shoots straight up, almost automatically.
There's this profoundly true saying, conflict reveals what calm waters hide. These heated arguments actually act as a massive spotlight. They brilliantly illuminate hidden insecurities, fears, and vulnerabilities that are just completely unnoticeable during the calm, happy periods. When everything's great, we all feel perfectly secure. But the second the friction starts, those deep-seated insecurities rise straight to the surface for both partners to deal with.
A really prime example of one of those hidden insecurities popping up is jealousy. Within a highly passionate dynamic, jealousy isn't just basic possessiveness. It specifically emerges as a direct reaction to your partner's emotional attention feeling divided, reduced, or even just uncertain. In a relationship where you are so used to a massive volume of intense emotional focus, even a tiny drop in that attention can trigger some serious friction. Section 4. The incompatibility myth. We definitely need a massive paradigm shift regarding what fighting actually means for your future. The really common fear is that recurring arguments equal fundamental incompatibility. You have a blowout and suddenly you think you're doomed, or you've chosen the totally wrong person. But actually, scratch that. It's more like recurring arguments often just reflect intense, mutual reactions. It's simply the natural result of both sides caring so deeply. It is the passion misfiring, not a lack of love.
And finally, Section 5, the ultimate relationship superpower. True strength is not controlling emotional fire, but learning when not to react to it. This is a real game changer. It's the absolute key to relationship success in these intense partnerships. Over time, you learn that thriving isn't about trying to extinguish the flame. I mean, that flame is the whole reason you're together in the first place. Instead, true strength is developing the supreme discipline of non-reaction. It's recognizing the tension, feeling the heat, but consciously choosing not to throw another log on the fire.
So I'll leave you with this to chew on. Can you master the pause? Think about your own partnerships. When the friction hits and that impulse to fight back is just screaming in your ear, do you have the capacity to withstand the heat? Can you embrace that momentary, silent pause between feeling an intense emotion and actually reacting to it? Because if you can master that pause, you can enjoy all the breathtaking highs of a passionate relationship without letting the inevitable sparks burn the whole house down. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning and keep growing.